is give the world the best that you have, and the best will come back to you. And
Mm.
so I don't think that it's necessarily about over giving or over functioning, because that's a different thing that actually can take away from somebody. When you're over functioning, it can take away from their relationship. Like, let's say you over function in your marriage, right?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
just think like, well, I'm giving, I'm doing my part.
Yep.
But are you doing, like, maybe you're doing someone else's part too. And so
Yes.
then you're taking away from the relationship that dad can have with the kids, and that can play out in so many different scenarios. It can play out in the work scenario, it can play out in parent relationships.
Hey, friend. I just finished this conversation with Lillian and I am still feeling it in my body. This one is tender. We recorded it in that strange space between Thanksgiving and the winter holidays when life feels full and a little wobbly at the same time. And what unfolded was a really honest dialogue about what it means to keep finding yourself again in the middle of fire seasons, motherhood, and being the one who holds so much for everyone else. You will hear Lillian share about losing her town in the Palisades fire, parenting three kids through grief, remembering the stories of her own mother, whose hometown in Nicaragua was erased by an earthquake. You will also hear about moon circles on the living room floor, Catholic roots, and converting to Judaism, my Buddhist language of human revolution, and how she blends neuroscience, the nervous system, and the woo into the way she supports women. We talk about breathwork, about the real crash after holding retreats, and about shadow, the parts of us that would rather stay underground. My hope is that as you listen, you'll feel a little less alone in whatever you are carrying right now. So maybe you recognize yourself in her story as the eldest daughter, or the one who keeps everyone else steady, or the woman who secretly longs for a circle where she can sit on the floor in cozy clothes and tell the truth. So give yourself a breath. In through the nose, out through your mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Let yourself be exactly where you are. And let us enter this conversation with Lillian together. Hi, friend. If you've been dreaming about bringing your women together around beauty, truth, and transformation, this is your invitation. At Goddess of Light curated retreats, the heartbeat is the breath. The sacred space we create is anchored in transformational breathwork, infused with Reiki, and organic homemade meals prepared with care, intention, and love. These retreats are designed to melt armor, restore nervous systems, and awaken the deep knowing that's been waiting just beneath the surface. I offer 3 powerful ways we can co-create. Drop-in facilitator. I join your retreat to lead one potent breathwork and Reiki session or ceremony. This is the perfect way to elevate an already beautiful gathering with deep energetic anchoring. Full weekend presence. I stay with your group throughout the retreat, offering guided breathwork, Reiki, meditations, energy support, and presence, woven into every part of the weekend, including cacao ceremonies. Full retreat facilitation and production. I create the entire retreat for you. The space, the chef, the rhythm, the healing, all of it, every aspect. You gather your women, I hold everything else. This is for leaders who want to nourish and be nourished. For those who know it's time to come together and want to do this with elegance and ease and soul, this is for you. If your heart's been calling for this, you can reach out to me, Siri@sageblushwellness.com, or DM me on Instagram at Siri Baruch Thornton. Let's create something unforgettable. Welcome to The Authentic Creative, where we expand our capacity to feel good, one deep breath, one bold choice, and maybe a little bit of magic at a time. I'm Siri Baruch Thornton, healer, creative, and lifelong explorer of all things energy, self-expression, and joy. With over 26 years of experience in Reiki, Akashic Records, and transformational breathwork, I've learned that feeling good is not a luxury, it's a practice. And sometimes it's a little messy. This podcast is here to help you trust your intuition, break the rules, the ones that need breaking, and live more fully in your gifts. So give yourself a deep breath, get cozy, and let's dive in.
So welcome back to The Authentic Creative, expanding our capacity to feel good. It's been a little minute. We had our women's panel over 2 weeks ago. And so this is our first time back, and we've had Thanksgiving since then. People have had holidays and family and trips and the start of all of the holiday excitement as well as the holiday stress. So I think it's perfect that Lillian Cohanzad,
Yep.
correct? Yes. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
you said it.
Is here, and she is the author of The We Natal Guided Journal Manifesting the Family of Your Dreams, a transformational mindset coach and community builder. So I'm really excited. She is dedicated to helping women reconnect with the truest parts of themselves during life's biggest transitions. Do you guys relate to that? She leads women's circles, retreats, and community based experiences that blend the science and the woo. We love it. Through neuroscience, nervous system healing, movement, breath work, soulful reflection, and embodiment practices, her work supports mothers and modern women in remembering who they are, expanding what's possible, and living from deeper alignment to manifest the life of their dreams. So this year, she's deepened her commitment to her own healing and to her community after the Palisades fires took her town. And boy, do I know about that. My father lost his place and everything in it. So she now lives in Santa Monica with her husband and 3 children. So today on The Authentic Creative, we're just going to drop into a lovely flowing conversation here. I'm curious, Lillian, how are you feeling between this interesting time of Thanksgiving and Christmas slash Hanukkah? How is that feeling for you? What's up for you? We're just meeting.
Yes, I'm so happy to finally get to meet you, Siri. Our circles kind of intermingle in a lot of different ways, and so it's just lovely to put a face to a name and be here with you and your community. So thank you. How am I feeling? This year I've had to let go of so much after the fires and so many changes. So I'm actually feeling just kind of relaxed. Funnily enough, I was raised Catholic and I converted to Judaism in my
Mm-hmm.
early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And so people always say, what about Christmas? And I'm like, oh, it's such a relief not to have to like do all the things.
Mm.
Um, but I'm feeling
Yeah.
I'm feeling, a little bit of that stress come in, and then again, just kind of grateful to have gotten through this year, honestly, with um
The
everything that
fires.
happened and the
Yeah.
fires and the learnings that came from that, and the internal there were so many external shifts, but really so many internal shifts as well. So going into the season, I'm just kind of like I'm just taking it all in. I'm really just taking it all in. Yeah.
And how do you relate to the year of the snake and our shedding versus we're
Oh,
coming into the year of the horse? Because I know you know about all this stuff.
yes, yes. So yeah, we're in like a year 9, right? Year of the snake, year of shedding, and like you read about these things and it doesn't really maybe apply to you, and then all of a sudden it does. Um, yeah, January 7th, the fires came through, and I think 6,000, 7,000 homes were burned down. I think you said your father's as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were fortunate. We were one of the only homes in our area. 93% of our area was gone. So we were one of the only homes that remained standing. But of course, nobody can really live there at this time. So
Hmm.
for me, it was a lot of carrying the grief that I had, but also the grief that my children had. I have 3 kids. They're aged 10, 8, and 6. Their school burnt down. There were a lot of changes there. And so,
Mm.
yeah, a lot of caring and the shedding of like just who I thought I was in the world and kind of coming into a year of transforming. I would always have my community events in my home. It was a big part of like who I am.
Hmm.
My home, my structure. I had my retreats in my home.
Mm.
Um,
Lovely.
so not having that forced me to kind of find that place within myself that I can still invite people to and
Yeah.
still connect with people in outside of this external, beautiful like retreat like thing that I had. finding that inside me. And so, yeah, it's
I have a year of learning, you said?
a year of letting go
A
and
letting
of
go.
transformation. I feel the transformation coming. I feel like it's not, fully there, but are we ever fully there?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
And everything is now, and there's no there and all of that.
exactly.
I have so many questions. Two things that are going on in my mind right now. One is I want to know where you grew up, what your childhood was like, what brought you to being the healer that you are today. And I know that could be probably a series of books, but maybe we can encapsulate it a little bit. But I just want to get a little bit of your background. And then the other thing that I want to talk to you about that's occurring to me is I'm really fascinated right now by circles of women, groups of women,
Mm,
sisterhood wounds, human revolution, I call it in Buddhism. I practice Buddhism. So I have Jewish background, I have Catholic background, but I also practice Buddhism, so sort of similar worlds. But
yes.
I want to kind of get into like the world of women and retreats and women's circles and sisterhood wounds and transformation in within groups of women. I want to talk to you about that. So, but first, I would love to know who you are, like where you started, what you were like as a child, like what brought you into this healing world. Where were you born?
I was born in Southern California, here in Los Angeles, and I I'm the eldest daughter of an immigrant family. Funnily enough, or ironically enough, my mother is from Nicaragua and Central America, and her town was completely erased with an earthquake, which is why she ended up coming to study here at
Wow.
17 years old. The law school that she was going to attend was gone, everything was gone, so she came here. So I kind of grew up with this story of like, the things you take with you are your character, how you treat people, your um, education, kind of your internal things,
Hmm.
but the external can change. So it's kind of interesting that the same thing happened to me and my sister, whose house burned down in the
Wow.
Palisades as well. Um, and
Yeah.
so I was the eldest daughter, and I kind of feel like I came in with the codes. Like as a child, I always kind of knew that I was the same as everybody else, that we were all kind of children of God, and no one was better and no one was worse. It was just this like knowing that I had. I think during my early like adulthood, the late teenage years, I lost that connection a little bit with just the things that happen in life and adulthood and adolescence and things that I felt, shame about at the time with my
Yeah.
sexuality and different things that were emerging in me that I had no context for, growing up in like a deeply religious Catholic family. Um,
So
but
when
I,
you
I
say, I have this little curiosity when you say your sexuality, just like becoming a blossoming woman and the sexual nature of that and the urges and feeling like that was
yes,
somehow not what was meant to be. Is that what you mean?
yeah, and feeling just like shame around that sexual part of me,
Okay.
coming alive.
Yeah.
Um, so working through that, as in my 20s and then being married, having kids, like just the metamorphosis, I remembered the codes like along the way. And I think especially when my daughter was born, it was like, oh, I remember
Hmm.
um, who I was as a child and all the things that I believed and knew about the world and our connection to source and how
Wow.
it's always there. It's just
Wow.
like you may just not see it in a moment, but it's always there.
Mm.
And I think the slowing down when I had my daughter, because I was in a very male dominated industry, I was a commercial real estate broker. It was go, go, go. And that slowing down brought me back to self and brought me back to that connection with source.
Yeah.
Um, and from there, a lot of things changed. So I think, I came in knowing, forgot it for a while, and through the motherhood metamorphosis, it came back.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That birth process rebirthed you as a human. And I think that's what's so special about getting to become a mom and that
Oh,
we're
yeah.
just birthing ourselves. So, when you were
truly.
younger, because now you facilitate groups of women, when you were younger, were you, was your mother, were your sisters, were you drawn to facilitate? Were you drawn to lead? Were female
Yes,
relationships easy for you? Yeah.
yes. I've always thought women are incredible. And yeah, I always did. Even in high school, I was a retreat leader back then. We had a
Really?
big retreat, every year. I went to an all-girls high school.
Okay.
So I was the retreat leader back then. And then when I went to college, I thought, I'm not going to go to a college where I have to join a sorority. I don't want to do that. I ended up joining a sorority, ended up being the president of my sorority. There were 207 women, and that was a learning experience. I remember when I left college having this feeling of like, where is the sisterhood? Like, where am I? Because I always had that. I had it with the all girls high school. I had it with my sorority in college. And then I go into this very male dominated commercial real estate world of just working and grinding and hustling and doing and doing. And I remember thinking like, where are these sisters? Who can I sing with? Who can I like just sit and talk with and connect with? And for a long time, that was like a missing piece in my life. And living in Los Angeles, a lot of people will have stories about how it's difficult to connect with people here or whatever.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
I just kind of started my own circles. I was like, okay, what do I want to do? I want to sing with other women. I want to sit on the floor in our cozies with like no makeup on and our hair a mess like I used to in high school with this all girls, just like no mask and just be together. And so I started inviting people into my home and doing that. And I would always say, come cozy, we're going to be sitting on the floor. And it was just
Amazing.
kind of a way to like just get everyone to be right away.
Yeah, like totally themselves. I was gonna ask you, and you started already describing it. What were those first women girls retreats like? What did you do? So you sang and you hung out, and what was that
Yeah,
like?
a lot of it was, I mean, sometimes I would do moon circles where I would,
Really?
just
Wow.
kind of bring
In high
in like,
school you did that.
no, not in high school. This was
Okay.
like already, yeah, no, in high school, it was more through school. But as I got older and after I had my daughter and thinking about where is the sisterhood and I started putting it together, I would say, hey, let's get together and talk about the moon. Or people would ask me, can we do a manifestation session? And I'd be like, sure, come over, bring a friend if you want, and we would do that. Um,
I love
but
it.
it's really always been about leading myself and whoever is around me back to themselves. Like I call my
Yeah.
retreats the return to you retreats because
Yeah.
it's really returning to you, returning to God, returning to source. It's all the same thing, right?
Hmm.
So, um, but yeah, those early circles were just really fun. It was just usually people who reached out for manifestation sessions, or I'd be like, "Hey, girls, let's get together and chat about the moon." And 8 people would show up, and we would sit around in a circle and just talk.
That's amazing. I
Yeah.
was looking at something recently that Kate Northrup posted about regulating her cycle by just spending 10, 20 minutes staring at the moon every night. And I thought
Wow.
that's so interesting. So you've always had this connection to the moon, and that's sort of your entry point for it. And I think being probably in California makes it a little bit easier for you to attract the kind of women that are like, yeah, let's sit and talk about the moon.
Yeah, but I will say that for a long time I would do it with people that didn't know me because I felt like
Okay.
just like a weirdo, you know what I mean, in my
Mm-hmm.
own circle.
Yeah. Yep.
And it took some inner work of my own to be like, no, this is me, and I get to show it to everyone, not just like strangers. Um, And so, yeah, it wasn't always super comfortable for me to be fully myself in that woo-ness, I suppose. But I've gotten there. I'm still getting there.
I love that authenticity. You just mentioned the woo, but then also you have this neuroscience background, you have this breathwork background,
Yeah.
and I'm curious, how did that all start to come in for you?
Just an obsessive curiosity. Like everything that I read, everything that I'm about is really about energy. I've always kind of seen the world as these two different places. It's like the 3D, like there's, the screen in front of us that we can see and we can touch and we can feel. Um, and then there's this other world that's always happening. Like you can't see hope, but it's there. You know,
Mm,
you can't see love, but it's there. You can't see like the connection that you and I are having energetically, but it's there. And I've always felt like that's the more real thing,
mhm,
you know? And I'm kind of still working it out, like, what is more real, Because obviously we came into this physical body for a reason.
mhm.
And so the physical body is important too. And that's why I do a lot of like somatic and embodiment, like
Embodiment,
getting back
yes,
in.
yes.
Because for me, it's easy to go out there to the energetics.
Just travel astrally and
Yeah. And like see the timelines. I'm like this. But being in my own skin can be harder sometimes.
for sure.
And so I've just always kind of traversed these two worlds and known innately that like the 3D is just a small portion of it and that the 5D is really what's going on. And then going to the science part,
Yeah.
it's fascinating because now finally the science is catching up, right? Like they're
Yes.
doing mind and body labs at Stanford, at Columbia, at all these amazing universities, and coming out with all this science that belief really does impact our biology. Like what we believe about ourselves and about the world actually manifests in the 3D reality of our bodies, of what's around us. A
Right,
simple
like I'm just thinking it's the well, I'll believe it when I see it, and you're like,
Mhm.
no, I will see it when I believe it.
1,000%. Yeah. Um, a very simple, like scientific example that came out of Stanford is they gave a group of people, they had two groups of people, and they gave them the exact same milkshake.
Oh.
And they told one group of people, this is a very low fat milkshake, like it's kind of a diet shake. They told the other group of
Mm,
people this is a very full, rich shake. The shake was the exact same thing. But they
sure.
measured their levels, their hormone levels of ghrelin, which tells you that you're satiated, before and after the shake. And the ones who were told it was no different, but they were told that it was a satiating shake.
Yeah.
Their ghrelin was 3 times higher than the people who were told that it was,
Wow.
a diet shake. So it was simply belief. There was nothing different in the shake. And the science is just it's like catching up to what we've always known. And I think it's fascinating.
That makes me think about people in Italy that just enjoy their life. And yes,
Oh,
their food is so much more pure and simple and like to the root from the earth. It's not like American food, but it's just so interesting that, they can eat pasta and drink wine and be healthy. And I think it's because of their particular way of relating to the food.
oh, 1,000%. After the fires, we lived in Greece for 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah. We came back to LA. We evacuated to San Diego. We came back to Los Angeles to kind of get our kids back in school with
Yeah.
a different campus, but with the same friends and teachers, and kind of grieve through the process together with the community. And then we found out about this program where the kids could go to school in Greece, and there were like all these families that were coming from all over the world. And we said, should we do this? We'd have to live in this like 2 bedroom, 1 bath apartment with our 3 kids.
Wow.
And we did it. We did it for 3 months. And you're absolutely right. Like the people there, they're not worried about, like, I don't know, it's not so much about the doing. If it's a nice day outside, they will cancel their appointments and they will go fishing. And
Mm.
everybody does it because it's just what's expected. And we were like, but your clients don't get upset with you. You're an accountant. Like they don't get mad that you're canceling them and going fishing. They're like, no, they're doing that too. They're happy.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
it's
it's like they really understand life is for living as
yeah,
opposed to this sort of American culture of which we're trying to come out of, aren't we? Of the
we sure
grind.
are. We sure are. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I think that you can still have all of the abundance,
Hmm.
but we've been programmed to believe that it's like in the hard and the
Yeah.
do, like
Yeah.
the constant grind.
Yeah. The masculine.
Um, and I'm not saying you just sit there and do nothing,
Obviously. Yeah.
but it can be fun,
Yeah.
is my point. It can
Yeah.
be something that like enlivens you, and it doesn't have to be this really hard thing that's out of alignment, which I feel like so many of us were doing that for a long time
Yeah.
and still are.
Two things I'm thinking about. One is in the last panel, we were talking about sacred over sacrifice. And
Hmm.
one of the women talked about if you give everything, like truly give everything, you're going to get everything back. And that stuck with me because so much of sort of my mentality is like, oh, I just have to really not overgive because my tendency is to overgive in certain areas.
Hmm.
And so you're talking about this balance of like going hard, and we're talking about kind of American culture and the masculine, and then sort of how do we find this balance of like allowing the manifestations to come through ease and joy. So I'm just curious where you stand on this sort of not sacrificing, but also giving, but also creating boundaries. Where is your learning on that right now?
I think right now it goes back to honestly, my senior quote in the yearbook was give the world the best that you have, and the best will come back to you. And
Mm,
so I don't think that it's necessarily about over giving or over functioning, because that's a different thing that actually can take away from somebody when you're over functioning. It can take away from their relationship. Like, let's say you over function in your marriage, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
you
yeah,
just think like, well, I'm giving, I'm doing my part.
yeah,
But are you doing like maybe you're doing someone else's part too? And so
yes.
then you're taking away from the relationship that, you know, dad can have with the kids, and that can play out in so many different scenarios. It can play out in the work scenario, it can play out in parent relationships. So I don't think it's about over giving in that way, but I think if you are aligned and you are giving the world, creating in the world the best that you have to give, how can you help but receive
Mm,
what's meant for you? You
mm,
know,
mm,
I think manifesting is a lot more about receiving than it is about like doing.
hmm. Like
Um,
getting out of our own way.
Getting out of our own way
Yeah.
and kind of like letting go of the how, because a lot of
Mm,
people when they ask like how do I make it happen,
hmm.
and I don't think that that's the question,
It's not the
because
strategy. Yes.
the how is not, I always say the how is not up to me.
Up to us. Yeah.
Yeah, you just do the next thing that you know how to do, and it'll come in like these magical, crazy ways, The night before we left to Greece, I was packing up some of my journals. We were living in an Airbnb, and I
Hmm.
had gone back to our Palisades home just to get like whatever thing, we left with nothing.
Yeah.
And I went back in after they released the ban on the town or whatever for a
Sure.
week. And I was like, what do I want to take from here? And it was really just like my journals, my writing, pictures, and like little special things for the kids.
Yeah.
So I had my journals, and the night before I left, I was packing up my journals and I flipped through one, and I'm like, oh my gosh. In 2020, I had written, because I always write my dreams. It's part of like what I did for the We Natal journal, and I'll tell you a little bit
Hmm.
about that, but I have it here. But I always write my lists of dreams in the present tense. So I had written, I live in another country with my family for a bit. Like, I don't know, I
I
wrote it
love
down
it.
like 25 times.
Wow.
And I didn't say what country, I didn't say how long. I didn't like even try to do that. It was
Yes.
like something that just felt happy and fun. And like that would be a cool thing to do. So I wrote it down. And lo and behold, the town burns down and we end up living in Greece for 3 months, you know?
Yeah, if the dream is
So,
in you, it's for you. Amber Lillystrom quoting her
yeah,
there. Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
I have a dream journal as well because of her. I every night I write what one of my dreams is, but I haven't been doing it in present tense. So I love that.
Yeah. I think present tense is really important because it just kind of subconsciously trains the mind, like I am already that, you
Yes.
know?
Yeah. It's
Um,
all now. It's already
it's
happening.
all now, and maybe it has. You know, there was this like moment in Greece when I was sitting there, I started laughing to myself. I'm like, have I lived this before? Like it felt so familiar.
Past life, I
And
bet.
yeah, or like different timeline, who knows? I don't know, but
Maybe it's both.
yeah. Have you
Yeah.
ever heard that quote by Cheryl Strayed and Tiny Beautiful Things? Have you read this book?
I haven't read it. I've heard of it. Yes. Tell me
Here,
more.
you would love it. Tiny Beautiful Things. It's one of my favorite books. But she has this quote in there. It says, "The future has an ancient heart." And it's like, once you get to somewhere, sometimes you're like, of course, because it's
Yes.
been in your cells, it's been in your soul since God knows how many, iotas.
I love that you say the word of course, because that is one of the key words when I teach Akashic record reading. We say, when we look at our past lives, we say, of course, because it gives us the compassion for ourselves. Oh, that's why I'm having this current lifetime struggle. That was going on. Of course.
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course. I love
And
that.
also when really amazing manifestations come in and people are like, can you believe it? Because it's like so wild and beautiful. And I'm like, of course. You know?
Because you believe in the beauty and the magic of dreams and all of this. It's like when you believe in the magic, you're going to see it when you look for evidence of it. So tell me more about the We Natal Journal. What else lights you up about it? What else is just like
Oh,
serving you so much and or feedback that you're getting from other people about it?
yeah. Wheel is just amazing. I think you had my friend Vita on a podcast
Yes.
recently.
Oh my God, I love her.
I know she's genuinely like, talk about giving the world the best that you have. Like, just such a generous soul. The other founder, Roni, is one of my best friends. Anyway, they asked me to write this journal for the company because they wanted to give women who are trying to conceive or pregnant just
Hmm.
like that extra step. It's not just about a supplement, right? Like we just
Hmm.
talked about, it's also about belief, it's also about what's going on internally, in that woman's internal world.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to give them a support there. And it was just such a fun, like so easy project for me because it's so me, to write affirmations for them and to do the daily practice of gratitudes and dreams and a loving thought for a baby, a loving thought for your partner. But it's a really special and very easy. Like I'll show you a page. It's like today I'm grateful for, and you write three things, and then
Hmm.
five dreams for me and my family,
Oh my God, I love it.
and each page has an amazing quote, like everything you can imagine is real by Pablo Picasso. And then it'll be like some quote from my dad or my like father-in-law or, just people that have impacted me.
Those types of journals, okay, I have to buy it straight away. Those
I'll
types of
send you one.
journals are my favorite. Thank you.
I
They're my
know.
favorite. They're my favorite. I have a stack next to my
So do
bed
I. So
of those types of journals, and they're
yeah.
just, I mean, the quote and the I'm
Uh,
at some point I want, and of course this when I was age 19, The Artist's Way,
oh, Julia Cameron. Yes.
you know.
Yes.
The ultimate kind of quoted journaling book. I'm doing it with my client coming up next. We're doing our breathwork series. So, and you're into breathwork. You facilitate breathwork.
I do, yeah, I do it for my one-on-one clients. I've done it in group sessions, and I got trained by Marlise Jobert. I don't know if you know her. She's here in LA. She was trained by David Elliott.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so it's just
My
for
teacher was
me.
also trained by David as well.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She was trained with him for like I want to say 14 years, something wild, and she traveled everywhere with him. But she's incredible, and everyone connects in a different way. Some people it's sound, some people it's um, breath work. For me, it was breath work. I meditate.
Please will you share with me like the juiciest feelings that you had or that you've been
Oh,
having in relation to your own breathwork practice? Because I just love it so much.
oh my gosh. I mean, where can I begin? It's like a whole world, right? Like when you really go there, it's like this whole, you're not even in this world. You're in every world all at once. And ultimately, what I always want to bring people to, and what I love about breath work is it just brings me back to the feeling that I am so loved by this life force that connects us all. And there's nothing to fear because that's all there is love and support. And even when the things come in that are shadowy and dark, that it's all there supporting us and for us and leading us to that next evolution of self. And so breath work just like I quickly can get there, to this feeling of like getting ego out of the way and getting my conscious thoughts out of the way and really coming back to that underlying current of life that supports us all that says you are loved. And that's what I so love about
Oh
it.
my gosh, Lillian, that's incredible. And isn't it incredible that our something as simple as our breath, as just
Oh,
breathing, like it's so simple to read,
honestly,
but
and
I mean, it's obviously it's a retraining of our breath. It's not just the way we regularly breathe, but just the fact that we can get to what you're describing.
oh, it makes me almost want to cry because it's like this gift. I'm like such a sap, but it's this gift that was given to us at birth. Like you take your first breath
Yes, yes,
and you die with your last breath, and it's
yes.
like it's there in every moment of your life if you're willing to notice it. And it's a gift.
How we're
It
living
really,
is how we're breathing. How we're breathing
yes,
is how we're living.
exactly. And so I I believe in breath. I believe that it's our connection. And if you just stop to notice it and to be with it, like answers will come. And yeah,
I
it's
love this
beautiful.
so much. Okay, so I said I want to talk about women and women's
Yes.
circles and how we transform together and how we evolve together and how so just to be really specific, I've been leading women's retreats and every single time I've led a women's retreat, there's the lead up process, there's the incubator, we're in it together process, there's what's going on behind the scenes with the leaders, there's what's going on
Mhm.
with the facilitation, and then there's the post, right? Of, kind of energetically creating this through line for the women after that incubation
Yep.
experience, and then what happens inside of us, and then what happens
Hmm.
with the team in relation to each other. And man, is it intense. It's like
Oh,
I call human revolution. It's just like walking through the fire of transformation. And you have to have a huge freaking heart of service to keep doing this type of work is my experience. When you're doing the work that's like the unseen, the deeper
yeah.
work, not just like we're having a girls' weekend kind of work.
Yeah. I mean, yes. And also, I always say this is like my ultimate play date whenever we're on retreat because, like, it's what I love to do. And so I'm
Yes,
just
yes,
like,
yes.
like let's do it together, let's get there together. And I always have some sort of physiology, movement practice. I think physiology, I always say in my mind, like physiology first. It's really important to get in state and get moving. Um, but yes, the energetic arc of that journey that you want to take people on to return back to themselves, um, is really important. And honestly, I always crash out after retreat. Like I need like 2 days of no one talking to me just
Hmm.
to kind of integrate because you do give so much
Yeah. Yes.
space holding,
Thank you for
you know?
sharing that because I need to talk to more women who lead retreats. I need to
Yeah,
hear what's the real. What do they go through? How do they prepare? I mean, have you ever done a course like that?
I haven't. I mean, my learning has really just come from like going on other retreats and then doing
Yeah,
it.
same.
And yeah, and innately, but you know, my sister after my last retreat, she was like, "Are you okay?" Because I literally like laid comatose in bed, and I was like, "I am," but it takes a lot out of me, and I don't know how some women do it like over and over and over in a year. I have like two in me in a year,
Hmm. I
um,
see
that are
that.
that are like that intense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can do a half day, I can do, even a full day, but like the multi-day of holding women and it's a lot because it's not about me, although I always love to go through the transformation as
Sure.
well. And so I bring in other facilitators
Yeah.
to be there as well. I also think it's just fun to like see how other modalities, other people use their modalities. But it's about them and it's about them being able to be in a safe space to feel things that they may have pushed aside or forgotten about or wanted to not look at, that they kind of have to get to that next iteration of self.
Yes.
And doing it in relationship with other women, I just think there's something so powerful and so beautiful about being witnessed
Yes.
by another woman who also is carrying all of those things. You get to a
Yes.
place in retreat where you realize, like, back to that code that came into me very early, we're all the same. We're all going to experience,
Mm-hmm.
loss in our lives. We're all going to experience fear and longing and love and all the things. So, and we
This
don't always
is
have these conversations.
this is what I
Oh,
wrote
but
down at the last retreat after our breathwork. I wrote down we're all so deeply connected in our truths.
1,000%. It's exactly that.
Yeah.
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 But
Oh,
I love
I love
retreat.
I love that you're doing this work in the world, Lillian. It's just precious. So tell
Yeah.
me what else that I might have missed that's important that you share or and also that's lighting you up right now. What's on your
Yeah.
heart that I missed? Because there's so much that you do. Are you a manifesting generator?
I'm not. I'm a projector.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a projector 2/4. Yeah.
I'm
What
a
about
2/5.
you?
Manifesting generator 2/5. But
2/5.
do you
Okay.
do so many things? So of course you need the rest after the retreat, same as me, but like especially as a projector. Yeah.
Yeah, and a 4 is like a hermit too. So the 2 is
Yep.
out there, very social, and but the 4 is a hermit. So I have both. So yeah, I'm out there, and then I need to retreat back into myself and get
Same.
my energy stores up again. Um, right now, one of the things that's like intriguing me is really diving into shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, there's people who easily go to shadow, or
Mm-hmm.
that's like their go-to,
Yep.
and there's people who easily go to light. And so for me, the easier part is to just be like, well, I'm so grateful for this or that, like I easily go
I see
there.
that.
And
Yes.
I love that about myself. I'm
Yes.
not trying to change it,
Yes.
but also I know that in a year of so much honestly sadness and change and all these things, there's lessons there. So I woke up last month, one of the days, with this horrible pain in my eye, and
Mm.
it turned out it was a corneal ulcer.
Oh my goodness.
It was so painful, Siri. Like
Oh.
I was crying, I was holding my eye. I mean, I'm a baby when I get sick anyway, but my husband was like, "What can I do for you?" And I was like, and I never talk like this, but I was like, "Take me out back and like shed," like I was in so much pain.
Oh,
And
bless.
then when that kind of passed, but I still couldn't see out of my eye, I started
Oh,
asking myself, because I do live in this like very connected way. I'm like, okay, what is this? What is
yeah.
this trying to tell me?
What's the like Louise Hay version of this?
What's the Louise Hay version of this? And I couldn't look at the light. Like the light was so painful to look at. So I had to sit
Wow.
in like a dark room with sunglasses. And I was like,
Mm,
okay,
mm,
maybe it's about sitting in darkness.
mm.
And what is that for me? And I kind of like wanted to crawl out of my skin with it all. But
And also,
it,
I'm sure you had this awareness too of like, what am I not ready or wanting to see, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, just working with the shadow a little bit with like those sides of me that you know, are more painful or um
Like
I'm reading
excavating the darkness. I
excavating.
feel like we're
Yeah.
opposites. Like I wish I was more the tendency you're sharing. It's like this love and light and just everything, like the way you were describing breathwork. It was like everything's just like love, and I get there so easily. And I feel like I'm so just like in the shadow, and I want to have more of your perspective. I'm always trying to get to your perspective. Like everything's love and light. So it's
But
interesting.
but it's not, right? Like everything is, yes, everything is love. And also like the pain is a part of that, right? The
Yes,
sadness is
yes.
a part of that. And like if you can't embrace it all, then there's still parts that are not alive in you. And I think we come to this world in this 3D version to really feel
Hmm.
all of what it feels to be a human in our aliveness. And a
Yeah.
huge part of that is the dark and the
Yes.
anger and the sadness and like
Yes.
all of those feelings that for me growing up as like an immigrant's child, it was like you have shoes on your feet, like it's a good day, you
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
you be thankful that you have food on this plate, you
Yep.
know. And so that was my training to just kind of like stifle those negative, so-called negative feelings.
Yep.
And I'm just starting to see that like with my own children, parenting them maybe in a slightly different way. I mean, my parents were amazing and they did the best they could with the tools
Sure.
that they had, and we grow, right? And
Yeah.
so I don't want to tell my kids like don't cry about the
Right.
fires. Look, we're you
Right.
know, we're fine, you have your help. Like, of course those things are true, and there is space for the other side, which is that yeah, that was a really sad thing that happened, and you can feel that, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
We're the first generation that's really doing that. Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And I'm reading this book called Existential Kink. Have you ever read this?
I know a lot of people really are really into it, and I know about it. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
haven't finished it. I'm only on like chapter 3, but she's exploring the idea of like that maybe there's like pleasure in the pain,
Yeah.
which is so interesting. And I think that there
Because
is
what you
some
said,
truth
you're
to that.
alive. Because you're alive.
Yes, because you
Yes.
feel alive,
Yeah. And
you
that's the
know?
breathwork thing too, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. So that's one of the things I'm exploring. And then I
I
did
love
just
it.
recently start a Substack and started putting my writing
Okay.
out there, which
Okay.
know why. Like I can do all my client work, I can do all my retreats and all because these are people that are like into that. They're coming to me for that, you know. But to put my writing just like out there in the world has always felt really scary to me.
Hmm.
And almost like, is it safe to share
Yeah.
my truth in that way? Am
Yeah.
I safe? You know? And
Yeah.
so I
I hear
recently
that.
started doing that and just kind of trying to be braver day by day.
Oh, I love that you're reading Existential Kink, and now I have to read it. And
Yeah.
doing Substack, I've thought about that. That's a wonderful because so many people are into that. So much
Mhm.
like and not just people in our field, people in all sorts of fields. I love that that's like a new way of sharing information that it's really coming back to not just like 10-second little snippets of things. It's like, let's deep dive
Exactly.
here. Let's really get into it. Let's
Exactly.
really
And
share
it's
the
not like
real.
about followers or being flashy, because that's not really
Yeah.
my thing, you know, at this point. So, yeah, just getting to like reset deep dive.
Thank you so much for all of your insights on everything and for sharing about your background and your upbringing and, all of these like vulnerable. It's not easy to go on a podcast and vulnerably share everything about your life and your process. And, like being on my end of it, I just get to ask the questions, but to be on your end of it, I know what that's like and it's very vulnerable. And so thank you for having the courage to drop the masks and just really share from an open-hearted space about your real process and what lights you up and what scares you and what you're going for and what your family has gone through recently. And I think so much of this is going to be medicine for women on a similar, and men too, but mostly women that are on a similar path to us, on that are
Yeah.
committed to their evolution. And so thank you so much. Is there a certain place you said you're on Substack? Is there your Instagram, your website? Where do you want people to like go into the portal for you?
Yeah, they can find me on Instagram at Lillian Cohanzad, or my Substack is called The Great Unfolding, and
Love it.
it's out there too. So yeah,
Amazing. Oh, I love the great
Yuri, thank you so much.
unfolding. So
Yes,
good. So
because I
good.
always thought of life as like a becoming, right? Like you become whatever, a doctor, a lawyer, a retreat leader, and I'm realizing maybe it's already all there, and just like the next step just unfolds in front of us, as we go through. So it's going to be fun to see what the next unfolding is for all of us.
I can't wait to work on your journal.
I am sending you one right away. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Oh, and I can't wait to share this episode. Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Lillian. You're such a
Thank
blessing. Thank you for
thank you.
walking with your light and your love in the world.
And maybe we need to talk a little bit more about that shadow theory. You can teach me a little bit more about diving in there.
We could do some breathwork trades. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for your presence and your curiosity and just your beautiful light too. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. This was wonderful. I love this. Thank you. And guys, thanks for listening. Keep expanding your capacity to feel good one breath at a time. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Hey, that was a journey, right? I'm sitting here on the other side of this conversation with Lillian and just feeling really tender and really grateful. There's something about hearing another woman tell the whole story, the loss, the fire, the faith, the circle of women on the living room floor that makes my own stories stir and stretch a little too. I wonder if you feel that right now. If you can, let yourself notice what is present in your body after listening. Maybe there's a lump in your throat, a softening in your chest, a little spark of possibility, or even some honest tiredness. All of it, whatever it is welcome here. Perhaps there's hope. You don't have to rush out of this space. You get to let it land. And if someone came to mind as you were listening, maybe a friend who's walking through her own season of loss or becoming, or the unraveling, or the shadow, I would love for you to send this episode to her so she knows she's not the only one. And if this podcast is a place that's supporting you, it truly helps when you follow, you subscribe, you leave a review. It's one of the most simple ways to keep this kind of conversation moving out into the world. So if you're feeling the pull to be in circle in real life, to breathe, to be held in person, you can always find my upcoming Goddess of Light retreats and other offerings in the show notes on my site as well, sageandblushwellness.com, on Instagram at Siri Baruch Thornton. So thank you for being here. Thank you for letting yourself feel, and thank you for expanding your capacity to feel good, one breath at a time with me today. Loving you. Do you ever feel like you're pouring out for everyone else while your own well runs dry? Do you long for a space where you can stop performing, stop managing, stop holding it all together, and simply be held? That is what the Goddess of Light retreats are for. For 3 nights on the banks of the Sandy River at Mount Hood, you're invited to lay it all down, to breathe deeply, to let the noise fall away, and to remember the part of you that's radiant, whole, and free. You'll be nourished by Chef Marnie and the Bastion team with meals that feel like medicine. You'll be opened through sound and Reiki with Dawn's healing vibrations. You'll be moved to tears by the music of Lola Christine and Megan Sky. You'll be held in ceremony, breathwork, sisterhood, and laughter that remind you what it feels like to come alive again with me. This is not just a little getaway. This is a homecoming, a chance to release the exhaustion, the self-doubt, the constant doing, and to walk away anchored in joy, confidence, and a circle of women who sees you. Upcoming dates, March 15th to 18th, 2026, May 3rd to the 6th, and October 4th to the 7th, 2026. Spaces are limited because the circle is intimate by design. If your heart is whispering yes, answer it. Reserve your place. Link in the show notes. Come home to yourself. Come be a part of the light. Today's conversation stirred something in you. Here are a few ways we can go deeper together. So the Authentic Creative Podcast, where you are now, make sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss more conversations like this. And if you loved this one, share it with a friend who needs to hear it. Goddess of Light Retreats, sacred gatherings in Mount Hood Village, Oregon, along the Sandy River, where we step away from the noise and remember ourselves through breathwork, Reiki-infused ceremony, sisterhood, nourishment. You can explore upcoming retreats, link in the show notes, or go onto Instagram at Siri Baruch Thornton. Find me, email me, however you want to do it. Let's get on a conversation about that. One-on-one work for private Reiki, breathwork, Akashic sessions where we can go right into your unique medicine. You can connect with me directly. Thank you for being here, for listening, for expanding your capacity to feel good alongside me. I'm sending you love, and I can't wait to connect again soon. Loving you.